In this video, we're going to be covering work-based learning presets and how they can be used to make the work-based learning management process easier for administrators and trainers. At this point, you should be familiar with the rest of the work-based learning system. This feature isn't necessary to get started with work-based learning, but is aimed at making the setup process quicker once you're up and running. Presets are essentially used as a way to create placements that share similar details without needing to enter duplicate information each time. Presets can be accessed by clicking the Presets tab in the Work-Based Learning area. To get started, click on the New Preset button above the main list of presets. Other than a name, there are no mandatory fields needed for a preset. This allows presets to be quite flexible, as they are able to be used for general details that can apply to many placements, or specific details that will be used for a small portion of placements. For our first example, we'll set up a preset that applies to a very specific set of placements. In this scenario, each of the learners will be undertaking the same qualification, visiting the same host employer, and sharing the same schedule. We'll start by adding a name to the preset and selecting a qualification. Then, we'll set the required duration and add a host employer. After selecting a host employer, we can set the appropriate start and end dates and then create the preset. Once the preset has been created, we can view the details on the Overview tab and now also set the schedule that will be applied with this preset by clicking on the Schedule tab. The interface is basically the same as the one that you would have seen on the placement view. At the top of the page, we will select the dates and the host employer that the schedule pattern applies to. In this case, we'll just leave the dates the same as the placement duration. Now, we'll start configuring the schedule pattern. In this case, the learners will be with their host employers on Monday and Tuesday for the whole day. We don't need to do anything more to save the preset schedule. This will just be what is applied at the time the preset is used. Now, we can also go to the Activities tab and customize activities that are made available for learners this preset applies to. Similar to the schedule, this interface is the same you would see against a particular placement when viewing its activities. This option is only available for presets that have a specific qualification selected. By default, all activities that are available for a particular qualification will be enabled. But here, you can disable specific activities that may or may not be applicable. This allows you to give a bit more of a tailored experience to learners by giving them a smaller set of activities to select from. This interface also does not need to be saved. The activity configuration will just be applied when the preset is used. Now that we've got our presets configured, we will now use it to create a placement by clicking Use Preset in the top right corner. This will bring up the placement creation screen with the presets applied. You will just need to select a learner and enrollment to link the placement. Everything else will already be filled out by your preset. Now we can click Create Placement and everything will be ready to go. This includes the schedule, which will have been created, as well as the activities we disabled. As you can see, this can be immensely helpful for the setting up of many placements that have the same details and save you time while doing so. To demonstrate how flexible presets can be, we will set up another preset that has less information and make it more widely applicable. In this scenario, we will only have a schedule and no other details. We'll click New Preset and then just set a name before clicking Create. At this point, the preset will not do anything when applied, but we will now go and set the schedule. In this scenario, we will be creating a full-time schedule, meaning Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. So we will go and enable each weekday, which we are going to set to 9 to 5 by default. Because there is no host employer selected for the preset, there will not be one to select within the preset schedule. A specific schedule date can still be set, but if we leave it blank, the schedule length will match the host employer dates when it is applied to placements. Similarly, the location of visits will be set as the default location of the host employer when the schedule is applied to the placement. Now that we've set the schedule pattern, we're good to go. We could click Use Preset from this screen, but we can also navigate to the Placements tab and apply a preset after clicking New Placement. We will first select a learner and their enrolment. Next, we will choose our full-time schedule preset and fill in the rest of the information. This information could be contained within the preset, but the less details set in the preset, the more widely usable it becomes. Now, once we create the placement, when we navigate to the Schedule tab, we can see that our schedule has already been applied. The duration has been determined by the host employer dates, and the location has been set accordingly. Hopefully, this has given you some insight into the ways that presets can be used to make the setup process of placements easier. These are just a few applications that can be used, but the feature can be used in many different ways. At this stage, you should be well on your way to mastering the work-based learning system.